Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Connie. I'm going to be sharing today with you how I work with and resize and rescale digital paper in Cricut Design Space. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started so it doesn't get too long. So this is a design from Cuddly Cute Designs. It's the Flower Pot Bunnies. And I'm just going to make my screen smaller. You can see the rest of the bunny. Anyway, I want this bow to be a patterned design. And I don't have any, for example, let's say I don't have any pattern paper that I like that's the color I want or the scale I want. And what I mean by scale is if you have a 12 by 12 sheet of printed pattern paper and you look at the identical piece of paper in a 6 by 6 size paper, the design, the pattern on the two papers is different sized. That's what I'm going to be working with today to show you how to get different sizes, different scales of your pattern paper. Okay. So, first of all, I'm just selecting all three pieces at once. It's easier. I'm going to come up here and change this to print then cut. And I'm going to make this a little larger. It's easier for me to work with. Sorry. Okay. Then I'm going to come up here to the color and I'm going to choose. This is just an example. Okay. It's just using these for examples, but I'm just going to pick this one. You can use this for images that you have, or excuse me, from for pattern paper that you've also uploaded. Okay, that works that way. It's the same thing. Okay, and I'm going to just try to make this bigger so you can get some idea of the pattern of the image. Now, when I put it back to, let's say, 125%, you can see that it's going to be quite small. And I'm actually going to click on Make It. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger. So you can see that scale is very small. Okay. If you want to go with that, that's great. That's how you do get a smaller, that's one way, excuse me, that you can get a smaller size scale of a pattern piece of paper. Now I'm going to bring this back to a basic cut file and I'm going to show you another way that you can do this. I'm just grouping this to make this easier, okay? So another thing you could do is, let's say, I'm going to bring in a 12-inch square. These are different ways you can do this, okay? So I'm going to go in here, just size this to 12 inches, back to, so we can see the whole thing. Now I'm going to make this a print and cut. Ah, there's a few things you can do with this, uh, doing it this way. Come back to pattern. Let's just choose this green pattern. Okay, so if we were able to print this out with Cricut, which I don't have a wide format printer or anything, but this is just going to give you some examples of what you can do. So you could leave it at 12 inches, take your pieces that you're working with, and I'll bring them to the front. You can see them here. Okay, and I'm just going to select it, come down over here. I can't do that. I have to do piece by piece. I forgot about that. I could only do slice with one image at a time. But I have that on there. And so I'm going to go over to slice. Okay. And then this piece here would be cut out of here at that 12-inch size. So let's come over to make it. Ugh, everything I try lately is just not working. I'm sorry. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite a large, going to actually be quite a large scale pattern on there. I'm going to leave that here just to give you some ideas of what this is going to do. Okay, now I'm going to bring my, let's see, my 12-inch piece back here. Okay, I'm going to use this piece again. Gonna slice it. I want to save that. And I want to hide that. Okay. I want this to be, let's say I want it to be at a, I want it to be at a 6" by 6" size paper scale, which would be half or 50%. So I'm going to come up here, I've got it selected at my print and cut. Oh, I'm going to get my color, excuse me. We're going to click on edit pattern. I can change that scale to, let's see, 100%. Let's see what it does. Just click on that, exit out. You're going to get a very small pattern, as you see. That's one way to change the scale. Another way to do it, we come back and find my hidden one here, is change this piece to, 6 by 6. And I hope I'm not confusing everybody. I really do. Put this piece in there, slice it. This is actually the easiest way, just change your paper size, okay? And then I'm going to make this larger. And you can see there's a huge difference in size. My suggestion is change your paper size. Don't work with the scaling on the pattern. That has other things that you can do. It's got good features. Another thing you can do if this pattern is still a little too large, take the 12" paper and change it down to about 4 by 4. Did it change it? Well, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let's bring this back. And I think we're just going to get this fit, but this is just for examples. Okay. So I'm going to slice it. And I'm just going to get rid of that here. And I'm going to compare these 3 sizes for you here. Okay. So you can see you have quite a difference in options for sizes. And granted, this is at 300%. However, it shows you the difference of how you can scale those pieces very easily. Now, there is another option here. And I want to quick show you, and then I will leave you alone. Let's see. I'm going to bring in a square. I'm going to put it at 12" because that's pretty much, a standard size for scrapbook paper. I want you to be able to see this whole thing here. Okay, and I lied. I have one more thing after this real quick. I apologize, and I promise I'll leave you alone. So I'm going to select my pattern that I want to work with here, and I got to quick find it here it is. Okay, so this is the 12" by 12" size. If I was printing out or if I purchased a 12 by 12" piece of paper, I know it doesn't look like it. It looks smaller because it's not at the full size, but this is what the pattern size would be at. So let's say I just want to take this blue poinsettia with the candy cane, and I just want that out of there. Okay, so I'm going to take a shape. I'm going to make it white so I can see things a little better, or grayish color. Bring it to the, oh, I can't do that. It's already there. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of bring this around. Okay, so it just kind of covers that. I'm going to select that. I'm going to slice. I'm going to delete that, and there I have that piece, okay? And that again, it's at 4 approximately by 3.5. Now, if I wanted this to be a smaller scale, I would come up to my color by my print and cut. It shows the image, edit pattern, and then start scaling it down from here. Let's say 300. Oops. I can't type very well, obviously. Okay. So there, it moves it over, but it makes it much smaller. So if you have a picture of something and you want just, let me see, I think I have some pictures in here that we'll take this. I think it's going to come up in really big. Yeah, I'm going to make it 10 inches, okay? So let's say I want to print just sassy and I don't want all the background stuff. So what I'm going to do is take a shape. Excuse me, and I'm just going to do this. Oops, I don't know what I'm missing there. Probably nothing important, but then I'm going to slice it. This, go over here, delete this, delete this. Now I can come in and I can, let's say I want this like, it's going to be too big to print, don't get me wrong, because it's not going to print well, but let's say I want it to make it approximately an 8 by 10 photo, okay? So what this is telling me over here is that it's too large to print for the mat. We'd have to make it smaller. But this is a way you can print a photo and just take out what you want out of it too. If you just have part of it you want to print, you want to make it larger, you want to make it smaller now, you can do that. Because it's print and cut, if you want to, let's see. Nope, it won't let me do that. But it does give you the option here to make it smaller, so then the scale itself is going to be smaller. I don't know if you knew that. You can print photos from Cricut Design Space. You could, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll just show you here. Let's see. Let's bring this picture back in. I'll just move it down here and make it, I'm just doing it at 50% right now, but let's say I want to cut it out at, let's just say I want a circle, okay? Don't know why, but we'll just go with it. Yeah, I'm just trying to get her in there. Maybe you have a circle in your photo album or your scrapbook layout that you want and you don't feel like doing it another way. This is a great way to do it. Again, I don't know if you're aware of all of this to be able to use. So if you want more instruction or how to work with this, certainly by all means give me a shout out and I'll let you do, or I can show you more. And then if you want to do like say this behind it, this is 8.5, so let's just do this at 9. And again, these are too big, but just to show you, we're going to send it to the back and we're going to select those two. And I'm going to go line and I'm going to center them. If I attach them and flatten them, they're going to print as one and cut out. So, it's all kinds of options that you have. One last thing, which I wasn't planning to show you all of that, but if you don't have, like this is 2 different colors. If you don't have the right colors for this, just come up and change it to print and cut. I'm sure you're aware of that. Oops. So sometimes, you don't have just quite the right color. You can do this, get the right color that you want. So lots of different things, but I did want to show you the scaling. Like for me, I'd rather do this in a pattern. And like say, let's just do this. I'm not sure what it is. But I don't have this color pattern. And I want the pattern bigger. Let's say I just made my dots bigger. But, certainly options for you if you want to go like that. It's probably a bad choice because it's kind of hard to see, I'm sure, on camera. But Lots of options if you just are playing with it. If you have questions, because I went through it kind of fast, just leave a comment. I'll get back to you and I can explain further, do more in depth video, but lots of fun to play with. So, again, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope this has helped some of you and have an awesome day. Take care, everybody.